I'm sitting here with Linda, who is an RTT therapist and a life coach. And actually, Linda helped me so much on my own journey that I wanted to interview her about the work she's doing, because I think you'll be able to help so many people if they know what you do. So for starters, I would just ask you if you could maybe introduce yourself and tell us a little about your work.
Definitely. So yeah, I started out my whole journey on this field because I was stuck in my life. So I actually, like, everything was working against me. It felt like that. And then I heard about the law of attraction and that you actually create your own reality. And I got so frustrated when I heard that. It was like...
Understandable when you're stuck, right?
Yeah. I
You'd
was
be like, why would I want to make myself stuck?
Yeah, because I just had this massive sadness within my life, in my heart, and I didn't know where it came from. And it felt like nothing was working. So when I was younger, I used to be super driven, and I was the youngest journalist that ever worked in Sweden. So I knew I had the potential. But then when I came to the age of like 25 and towards 30, nothing was working. I had a network marketing business and I was stuck. I wanted to get pregnant, it didn't work. And it was just like, I applied for different jobs, I didn't get them. And it was just like, what is going on? And nothing was really working. But thanks to the infertility, that was my drive. It drew me to search for answers because the Western like medicine and the hospitals, they told us, my back then husband and myself, that we could do IVF. And for me, it just felt so wrong. I'm not against IVF at all, but for me, it felt like totally wrong in my whole heart. And I was like, my whole body, it felt like it was screaming, like, no, don't do it. So I created this massive drive within me to search for answers. I was like, there has to be another way, because I knew I would get pregnant. And this was after 4 years of infertility.
So does this mean you felt the infertility was actually connected to something else than only, well, my body's not working the way it's supposed to and I need medicine or medical help to solve it?
I felt very, very powerless because I had no idea where the infertility came from. I just had a sense that my body is not ready. There is a reason why I'm not getting pregnant. So back then I had a job where I actually was able to be on Google like 7 hours every single day. So I used that 7 hours every single day to search for answers. And I tried so many different methods to get my body working, because at the end of those 4 years, they finally found out that I didn't have any ovulation. So, and when you don't have ovulation, that's kind of impossible to get pregnant.
Yeah.
So I did many different things, but nothing really worked. And then I found this method called rapid transmission therapy.
Okay.
And I found that the woman, the founder of rapid transmission therapy, she actually had a hypnotic recording where you could program your subconscious mind to get your body working. And for some reason that really resonated with me. I was like, oh my goodness, we actually have a subconscious mind. I didn't really know. I just knew, like, from so much of my willpower, that was the only thing I ever used in my whole life. It was my willpower. And I took so much pride in that I'm super driven and I always know what to do. And that was like who I was. So I always had to work very, very hard for everything I wanted. And the first month I tried that hypnotic recording for fertility, my ovulation started. So I saw like physical evidence. I was like, I remember peeing on that stick. And I was like, oh my goodness, my ovulation is working.
That's amazing, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you've tried it for so many years and nothing happened, and then you do this. How long did you listen to this recording?
Less than 21 days.
Okay.
And the ovulation happened. And that was so awesome. And then I actually got a chance to go and train to become a therapist myself in this method, because I felt like this is a massive opportunity to help other people as well. So I thought, like, okay, I can help myself to get pregnant, and then I can also help other couples in the world, because I knew the massive pain and I want to cry when I say it, because I knew the massive pain that you go through.
Yeah.
And I was so ashamed of it, and I didn't want to tell anybody because I felt so alone, and I was like, people were getting pregnant everywhere around me, and I avoided like the aisles in the supermarket, and somebody tried to handle me their baby, and I couldn't take it, I couldn't hold it. It was just, my whole body was just resisting it so much. So that was a horrible period in my life, and then I got the chance to actually do the training myself. So I was like, oh my goodness, I can help people to become pregnant. So that is how I started this whole journey of working with the subconscious mind and helping people.
Sorry. I think that's actually a good start for the next question, because I think if people who are probably having the same issue and they're listening to this, they'll be like, how should this work? This sounds like magic. You're just listening to something and then somehow your body does what it's supposed to do. So how does this working? And is this maybe, could you from there maybe explain a little more what rapid transformational therapy is and what it does, and that people get an understanding of what they can expect?
Yeah. There are so many answers in what you just asked.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you did ask this, because where would I even start? So one of the things was that I did understand that, okay, you can get pregnant, but I didn't get pregnant myself. And after I had become a certified therapist, and my only goal was to help people to get pregnant, that was my only intention for this whole work, and I didn't become pregnant.
Yeah.
And I was like, how can I possibly help other people to get pregnant? It just felt like a big, massive lie. Yeah. So the first, because I knew, I saw the evidence in other people, so I saw it worked. But when it didn't work for me, I was like, how can I promote this? It just felt so much fake. So the first videos I did, because I had this drive and I wanted to promote this, because I saw like, okay, I know I should be able to help other people. So I will actually one day post on my YouTube so people can see where I started when I started to do my first videos, because I so badly wanted to help other people, but when it didn't work for myself, it was massive frustration. So this is when something else magical started to happen during this whole process. So because of the sadness I felt when it didn't work for me, I started to get help from other RTT therapists who did the same method that I do. And so what RTT is that we work with the subconscious mind, right? The conscious mind is 5%, the subconscious mind is 95%. And if we have a conflicting belief, if we with our conscious mind want to create something, and we have a conflicting belief in our subconscious telling us that you shouldn't have this thing, or you are not worthy, or this is not for you, or it's a conflict, your subconscious mind will always win. And
why is that?
Why? Because your subconscious mind have one role, and that is to protect you, to keep you alive on this planet.
Okay.
So your whole belief system, the 95% in your subconscious mind, it is created when you are between like 0 when you are born until you are 10 years old, and even the most of it is from 3 years old to 10, but sometimes our clients even go back to when they are born and also in the womb. So you kind of form your whole belief system when you are between like in the womb until you are 10 years old, and you pick up things. Some people say to me like, I had the most great childhood, and I did too. I am super grateful for the childhood I had, but it doesn't matter, because the children, we pick up beliefs so the mind can keep us safe. So I picked up all these different beliefs. So when I got the help from rapid transformation therapists working with my subconscious, my life started to transform, because I started to feel more and more happy. We unlocked so many things about my life and why I had this gap between where I was and where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
So we started to unlock that. So because of, or thanks to the infertility, my whole life started to transform. I started to feel more happy. I started to attract different kind of clients, because people started to find me with different topics. They were like, Linda, I know you're working with RTT. Can you help me to feel more happy? Can you help me to get out of depression? Can you help me to, get a better romantic love life. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I can, because I've done it for myself. So now I started to understand, like, my process, my inner transformation. All of a sudden, it went from the focus of the fertility journey actually into feeling better about myself, and that created a massive difference. So there were so many things in your question. So what
Yeah,
was
I
it
think
more?
you covered it really well. So, because I think that would be a question many have if they hear it's therapy, but now you explained that it can be used for issues like depression or anxiety and panic attacks and things like that, but also if you're interested in developing yourself, because that's what you said. I think what's really interesting that it can be something where you feel a gap in between where you are and where you actually want to be.
Yeah.
And that's something where RTT can help you quite fast to come over this gap, right?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
That is so. That is really how I use it for myself and the people I work together with. Is like understanding. So why is this gap? So let's say you have, because my focus in helping people is to help entrepreneurs, especially online entrepreneurs, or maybe they're not online entrepreneurs yet, but maybe you are in a job, an employee, and you really want to have this amazing lifestyle where you travel the world, work from your computer. So that is one of my target groups that I actually work together with. So you can travel the world, making money, like a lot of money, and also create amazing loving relationships in your life, attracting your soulmates and all of this. So this is what I really have as my focus, and this is what I'm so passionate about.
Yeah.
And this is what really happened in my life. So you asked me to share a bit of my story. So I started out with it being totally stuck. I thought my life, I just had this massive sadness, and I looked happy on my face, so nobody could ever tell that I was sad. But it just, nothing really worked, and I had to hold up this facade, because I was also, like, in my network marketing business, I was also kind of a leader, so I was supposed to just pretend that everything was good and I couldn't share it. So it was just so not true for myself. So what actually happened was that when I started to grow myself, I did understand I was living the totally wrong life for myself. So I actually ended up leaving everything behind, including the relationship, including everything. And I moved back to Stockholm, where I'm originally from. And I attracted my soulmate into my life, whom I'm now having an amazing, loving relationship with. And also creating this whole online business. So we are now we're 1 week left in Stockholm, and then we're taking off to Thailand, and we will be traveling for, we have no idea how long, as long as we feel like it.
So this means you're actually a really powerful testimonial yourself for what RTT can do.
Yes.
Yes, that's great. And I think in the beginning you talked about the law of attraction, and that was the thing you came across. And how does this fit into the frame of RTT? How is it connected? And could you maybe explain a little what the connection is?
Yes, the connection is massive. And this is why I said, like, I was so frustrated when I first heard the concept that you create your own reality. So maybe you are familiar with The Secret, the movie, and that was the one I watched. And I started to understand, like, okay, I create my reality. But what I didn't get from that film or the book was that it's not what you consciously wish for with your 5%.
Yeah, right, because then I think that's what most people would get annoyed with, I guess. So if I think about it myself, I would say, well, if I create my own life, then, or if it would really work, then most people would just think, well, I want to be a millionaire. And I keep thinking I want to be a millionaire, and then it doesn't happen. So this is why most people would probably think law of attraction is just something made up and it's not working. And I think also if you watch The Secret, that's what quite a few people thought, that this is not working.
Yeah.
So
it's
how did it make sense to you, or how do you know that it's actually something that's working? And
what we have to understand is, and this is what I didn't understand when I first watched it, actually the first years after watching it, I didn't understand. It doesn't work on your conscious, it works on your subconscious.
Okay.
So if you want to become a millionaire, or you want to have your laptop lifestyle, you want to travel the whole world, you want to attract an amazing loving relationship, but you have a conflicting belief, you have a belief in your subconscious mind believing that no, you cannot make money, you cannot help people, you cannot do this, you have to do this, you have to be in this certain way.
Play it safe, right?
Yeah, because your subconscious mind is playing it so safe.
Yeah.
What it believes, it's safe.
Yeah.
So it's not actually even logical. So sometimes your belief system is like, okay, this should be safe, but now with your conscious mind, you notice that is not safe at all. So the thing is that you want to become a millionaire, but then you will have to work on your subconscious mind. So if you have a gap today where you are and where you want to be, and for some reason you haven't made it happen yet, maybe you found out yesterday that you wanted this thing, so of course you haven't had the time yet to become that. But if you have worked for a while on what you want to accomplish and you haven't get that result, then it is with so much certainty a subconscious belief holding you back. So this is the cool thing with rapid transformational therapy and how I use it. I use it to unlock your subconscious beliefs so you can have this as the express way to manifest the life you want. And this is what I have chose to be so authentic with my journey, because this is what I've done.
Yeah, so you're using RTT to kind of solving the conflicting belief, and the conflicting belief is also kind of this gap from where you actually are to where you want to be, because if the mind has a conflicting belief, it doesn't know where to go, right? And this is also again connected to feeling so stuck. Yes.
You don't go anywhere, and you become more and more depressed, or like losing more and more passion in your life. And that is what happened in my life. I totally lost the passion and didn't even remember what my passion was in life. And this is what happens when we live a life that is not for us, really.
Yeah.
We just become like numb.
Okay.
And I really felt numb. And this is actually why I found that I bought this t-shirt. So 1 year ago, I started my whole like real transformation 1 year ago. So I took off to Thailand 1 month, and I went through the whole moving from my old city, from the old relationship and everything. And in 1 year, my whole life has transformed. In 1 year, just imagine how short period of time 1 year is to going from totally stuck, making no money, till actually now in 1 week, taking off with my soulmate, travel the world.
Yeah, that's
It's just awesome. So
yeah,
so I bought this t-shirt, and it says like, today I choose happiness.
Joy.
It's actually my pajamas, but I thought, so sometimes I sleep in this one. But at least it's the same thing, joy and happiness. And I did set my intention. That was my intention, to create a life of joy and happiness. And the reason why I chose to wear this t-shirt today for this interview is because it makes so much sense. We choose how to feel and we choose how to think, but we have to understand again that we don't make it. Some we make consciously, but most of it we make subconsciously. So this text is only correct when we know how to access the subconscious mind. Does it make sense?
Yes, because then if you choose it, then you can actually also attract more and more good into your life, right? When you're actually feeling it. But I think that's what many people never learned, that you can actually take ownership and be the guide in your emotions, because most people, I feel, are often overwhelmed by their emotions because they don't understand that they come from the subconscious. But as soon as you find the roots of your issues in the subconscious and you can look at them differently, then this really empowers you to become the one in charge, the one in charge of your life. And that's what you actually did, right?
Yeah. Because I used, my life was, I was reminded of this just some days ago. I was out having lunch with my dad, and we were speaking about something, and he reminded me that how I used to be like when I was younger. I was afraid of everything, and people, maybe you are dealing with fear as well. And I used to be afraid of the whole life. I used to be afraid of being home alone. I used to be afraid of going on the bus. I used to be afraid of being in the city. My whole life was just a massive fear, and I used to be so afraid of going on the tube because I thought I would throw up. So I had this like this interesting thing going on in my mind, believing that if I am in public, if I am on the tube, I will throw up. So my mom actually, she helped me and she put down some plastic bags in my handbag so I could feel a little bit more safe, knowing that if I have to throw up, at least I have a plastic bag. So that is where I started out my life, with all this massive fear.
And you took the fear from your childhood to being a grown-up, right?
Yeah, and I love that. So if you are going through the same process of just feeling that should life really be like this, or I feel like I should be able to accomplish more, because that is the real feeling that I had, and the only thing I had to do was to work with the subconscious mind. And this is why, because you can do some RTT sessions alone, but this is why I created the whole life coaching RTT program, because I thought this was what I did for myself. I went through the whole process that I now teach other people to do, because I found the power in really creating new beliefs, creating new feelings, and really take your life on a journey that is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And really be clear on the goals that you actually want to achieve as well. Where do you want to go, really?
And I think it's really interesting to see in your case that you actually had a goal, and that's what helped you get started. But then from there on, it just developed, and now you're kind of somewhere else, but it was really important to have a goal to just get started, right? And I think that's probably helping many people to know that you don't have to find a goal and then it's in cement, and that's where, you know, it's either this that or nothing, but it's more of it's either this or something better. So in your case, it was this goal and you went for it, but then something whole different developed, and now you're in a much better place, and maybe you'll go there and maybe you don't, but I think that's really empowering, because I feel it could be really scary for some people if you're in that situation where you feel stuck, and then you'll be like, oh, well, I need a goal, so where should I get a goal from? And actually it could be just the next small step to probably get in touch with you, and then see where it goes from there on. So I think this could be really helpful if you could tell people who now really want to get out of the situation they're at, right? Yeah. So they'll be like, okay, now I've listened to this and it sounds really interesting and inspiring, and getting this feeling, well, this could be something I really want for myself, but what could I do from this state, from here? Yeah, and that is so good. You know, I exactly what you say, like sometimes we just have one goal, and that goal can change, and this is so important to remember, to let go of the ego base, like, and now I have decided this, or I decided that I want to study to become a doctor, but now I feel like maybe I don't want to do it anymore. And you know, so don't get so attached to the outcome, and just exactly as you say, just take one small step, and watching this video and understanding, okay, maybe I can actually get a law of attraction to work for me, maybe I can travel the world and still make a massive amount of money, or maybe I can actually attract my soulmate relationship or my twin flame relationship, or whatever you want to do. So exactly what you said, just take one small step, and that one small step could be to go on my website. In this case, it's lindaturnquist.com. We'll put it in the description below as well. And from there you can press book a free call. So people, you can actually book a free call, and we can just have a discussion and see, is rapid transformational therapy for you? And if so, what could be your first goal? Yes. And I think as we are there now, probably could you give just a little bit of an idea to people who want to get in touch with you and who feel like, oh, it's actually cool that I can just talk to Linda and see what she thinks about my issue. And if they decide from there on to work with you, how does the session look like, or what does it really mean? I would say like the most powerful thing that we do is the whole coaching program, and that is
how do you say, tails, just for every single person. So it's not a set program, but we work together for 4 months, and we do 10 sessions in total with both RTT and coaching. So that is the only thing that is set before. And then we design this program for every single person. So that is the most powerful package that I offer at the moment, which is like amazing, because you get a chance to transform your life totally and have this like coach, me in this case, to hold you by the hand while you take all the steps.
Yeah.
So what a rap transformation session look like is that we start with a question. So the question might be, why
do I feel so stuck?
Why do I feel so stuck? Exactly. Right. So then I would ask you in this case, so I would put you in hypnosis, and that is just a state of meditation. It's just like a very relaxed, super nice state,
so
right?
It's nothing where you, and I can say that from my own experience, it's nothing where Linda takes power over you and you're like this chicken doing stuff she wants you to do, or she could tell you things you don't want to do. It's more of a state of being really relaxed, and it's actually quite nice.
Yeah, it's really nice, and you get all the power, because you all of a sudden you get access to your whole subconscious mind. You get access to all memory, everything that happened to you in your whole life we get access to, and you were the one deciding what you want to share with me. I would say like it's super good to share everything, because then we can work it out and we're here together and help you out.
Yeah.
For you to transform your life. So the first thing we do is we identify where does the problem come from, what is the root cause, and then we solve it by making your brain understand that is not me anymore. I am not 2 years old. I am actually 35 or whatever. And then in the end of the recording, in the end of the session, we make a hypnotic recording where we put all the information in that you want to achieve in your life, how you want to feel. So we reverse the beliefs that we discover during the session. We reverse that in your recording.
Okay.
So we reprogram your subconscious mind for the life that you really want to live, and then you get that recording to bring home, and you listen to it from your phone every single day for 21 days, and you will see how your life will start to transform. It's absolutely amazing, and it's really, really nice. And you use this recording also when you go to sleep, so it's not even an effort.
Yeah.
You just.
So can I listen to it while I actually am asleep?
Yeah.
Okay.
Your subconscious mind is always awake.
Okay.
So when you sleep, your conscious mind is sleeping, but your subconscious mind is awake. This is why it's extremely, extremely powerful. So I recommend like listen to the recording before you go to bed. So that is the last thing that your subconscious mind is picking up, and you can actually have it on repeat the whole night as well. So it's really fantastic.
Great. Amazing. Yeah.
So really the step is to start with this one thing, and that is to book the free call and then go from there. We'll see if there is a fit.
Yes. That's
wonderful.
Amazing. Yeah.
I'm super glad that you wanted to have this conversation, because it's like the opportunity for people to transform their lives. It's absolutely massive. The only thing we need to know is how to do it.
How to do it, and here's the expert that'll show you how to do it.
Yay!
So thank you very much, Linda. I think you've explained it really well, and yeah, I'm just excited for others to have this experience, because I know it'll help them so much, and that there is so much more possible than you could ever have dreamed of. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye for now. See you soon.
Bye.